guys, the new Vivo X50 is here, and is it any exciting or worth the buy? Let's find out in this video. Well guys, first of all, these fall under premium mid-range phones. It comes with Snapdragon 730 chipset instead of the 765G chipset which can be found in its bigger brother, the X50 Pro. Now 8GB RAM is standard with variable storage like option. You have got 128GB or 256GB. Now what's interesting with this phone is three things, okay? The looks, or rather the design, the display and the camera, which we will get to it in a few minutes. Now talking of the design itself and the build quality and how it actually feels in hands, it's pretty good really. As you can see, the top and bottom is rather flat, very flat, and you can actually make it stand on the table just like this, so it won't fall. Hopefully it didn't fall. That's very nice. As you can see, it's that flat. The finishing, the looks is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, it's quite unique in terms of finish. It isn't too flashy or too gaudy. As you can see, the color is very subtle. This is frost blue, and I think it can appeal a lot of consumers if you are looking to buy it by any chance. Now at the bottom of the phone there is a SIM card tray. As you can see, there is USB-C, the microphone and also the speaker grill. Now the speaker is loud and is only bottom firing, okay. The power button and the volume rocker is on the right side, and there is just a microphone on the top side, and there is actually nothing on the left side. But still it's very nice to hold in hand. Maybe add a slider key or switch that can be customized like the OnePlus Vivo. If you are watching this review, you can add a slider over here which helps a lot. On the back you see the camera housing, and it's quite busy actually. There is camera housing, the AI quad camera setup. The AI recognition is really improved this time around. The main camera is 48 megapixel at f1.6, 13 megapixel at f2.4, 50mm focal length for portraits. There is 2x optical zoom and 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera at f2.2, and there is also 5 megapixel macro lens. The macro is really impressive. I'll come to that in a bit. And there is also dual LED flash. It looks like there are 3 flash here actually, 3 LED lights, but yeah, that's how it is. The camera array looks busy and it's actually nice. The back looks absolutely gorgeous again. Vivo X50 comes with FunTouch 10.5 OS. Which is polished in a subtle way. It's not too fancy and neither it is nearer to stock Android. The display is 6.5 inches, 5.6 inches, which is Super AMOLED display, and the pixels per inch density is like 396 ppi, around 396, which in sunlight is really bright. I'm actually really impressed with how the Super AMOLED displays in outer sunlight conditions, right? So that's what we expect from a Super AMOLED display. The display is also quite accurate in color representation as well. It is also a 90 Hz refresh rate display, which you will have to enable from settings. By default it won't be there, and that's impressive at this price point. You can also customize colors according to your liking. So there are a couple of tweaking within the software as well. First one is the ultra game mode, which gives plenty of settings to customize while playing games, like it closes all other applications, does better RAM management and things like that. It can also simulate 4D vibration, like while playing games you can feel the vibration really. That's pretty cool, I felt. You'll actually enjoy the games, especially RPG or FPS games on this phone for sure. Second, the iManager app is really handy. Now they have slightly tweaked and it's actually easy to use. Everything related to mobile management is here. Like you can check the phone's temperature, one touch cooling is there, and can close the apps that's causing overheating. It automatically does many times. There is also network speed testing, app encryption, blocking unwanted calls, clearing cache memory, etc., all under one easy interface. So that's what I liked about this FunTouch OS. So overall I can say that FunTouch OS feels better than it used to be earlier, but still there is stutter here and there as you use it regularly, even though the refresh rate is like higher for buttery smooth experience. Performance wise, I will rate it like say 6 out of 10. So guys, the moment you all have been waiting for, how's the camera setup? Well, I would say it's a mixed bag, because the main camera, which is 48 megapixel, I mean you will have to tap on the 48 megapixel to get that 48 MP actual pics, otherwise it's just 12 megapixel always. Keep that in mind. The images are generally good with great dynamic range, unless you are not a pixel peeper, because the details particularly are not that crisp or tack sharp. The problem is with how the image processing algorithm is written, because I think the sensor is really capable of producing really great images. Just the image processing is too much, and that makes it look like pastel effect. It's kind of soft if you look into the detail. The 2x optical zoom is good enough for most situations as well. In fact, the digital zoom goes all the way up to like 20x, which obviously isn't usable. It's just fun that you can zoom into like 20 times. There are so many features and modes for the camera which I really like there is Pro Sports mode, Pro mode, focus tracking with eye detection, subject lock. Night mode is super cool with built-in effects for different style colors or looks. There is also slow motion up to 240 fps in 720p and 120 frames per second in 1080p. There is also portrait mode which has dedicated camera, and the pictures generally are good with excellent background separation. Now you see, that's the kind of appreciation you give when you own a Vivo or Oppo phones, background separation. And if needed, it goes the extra mile with beauty mode as well, making your skin look very smooth as it can. That's how you can summarize. There is also 48 megapixel RAW plus JPEG support as well, which I like. 2 video codecs H.264, H.265 are supported, which is again nice. The low light images are impressively good enough with or without the night mode. Another nice thing is 5 megapixel macro camera. Like, this is a really big deal because a lot of camera that's macro actually I've seen so far isn't that good at all. But this one does produce nice images. It might just comes in handy sometimes while you want to click macro images. The front camera is a 32 megapixel at f2.45, which is not a stellar performer, but again there are plethora of features and beauty settings that you can vouch on and get some really nice looking self portraits. Overall guys, it's a decent camera for the price. It's a decent setup. There are so many things that you can do and it does the job whenever needed. So that's what we expect from the cameras, right? The battery here is rated at 4200 mAh. You also get the 33 watts fast charging. So there is not really much issue with the battery if you are going to buy this phone. Okay, so the Vivo X50 and the X50 Pro. These have a price gap of around 15,000 rupees. Yes, the X50 costs around 35,000 rupees for 8GB 128GB variant, and X50 Pro cost 50,000 rupees for 8GB 256GB variant. And the major difference between these two phones is that the X50 Pro gets a Snapdragon 765G chipset, which is slightly faster than X50's 730. And you also get the camera setup there with periscope lens that can zoom up to 60x. And it also has a 8 megapixel camera that has a gimbal like, you know, what they call optical image stabilization at f3.4 for main camera. So if the extra thing seems worth for you to spend 15,000 rupees more than you would spend on this X50, then sure, go ahead and get the X50 Pro. And at that price range, there are like other options too, like the OnePlus 7T, OnePlus 8, Oppo Reno 3 Pro, or even the Realme's X50 Pro, which is a 5G phone and has a 65 watts charging, Snapdragon 865, 64 megapixel camera and more. Yeah guys, so well then who should actually buy this Vivo X50? Like, it's in a price range of 35 to 40,000. Then who should buy this? If you are a Vivo fan and love having those plenty of camera features, then Vivo X50 is a good buy. Otherwise, I would suggest you look at the other options in the market from Samsung, be it the OnePlus or Realme. Yeah, if you love the camera settings, camera variety, camera features, and if you play a lot of games, this phone does make sense. And yes guys, what do you guys think of this X50? Let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed watching this review, and don't forget to click on that subscribe button, and I will see you all in another one. Till then, take care everyone. Bye bye.